Hi guys. We are still in the quarter of mutation, in this final phase of the quarter of mutation that is talking about the death cycle of the year. And we go step by step, gate by gate, into ourselves. We can't avoid it, we can't put it aside, we can't go forward in the same way or pace that we wanted to. We need to stop and reevaluate. We need to get in. We get to be. We need to look inward. We have no other choice. That's the energy. And the more I live my design, and the more I'm involved with people that are deeply in their experiment, I understand that the program is so influential. It's not that the more we live our design, the less we feel it, but on the other way around. We feel it strongly, and we are completely ruled by it, and that's the beauty, because it can make us really modest. Look at this and say, okay, we really have no choice. We really have no control. And our personal trajectory and journey is part of the larger journey, of the larger wheel movement. We can't separate our personal journey from the movement of the wheel. They belong together. Our personal journey is part of the program. So the more we are locked in a strategy and surrender, the more we can see how this movement of the wheel is natural for us, because we are part of the program. We carry the wheel in ourselves, and the wheel carries us. We can't separate us from the program. So the more the deeper or the stronger we surrender to it, then these transits affect us, or we can feel the effect. They always affect, but we can feel the effect, and sometimes we also can see how this movement serve our personal mythology and journey. So this is my very, very deep experience for the last week. I just understand that it is so accurate. My mind doesn't always love it or accept it, but the mind doesn't run the show, and luckily I'm not moved. My body doesn't move by what my mind says or thinks, so I can just watch it and also see how the transits make me feel all kind of things, but then they leave, and they move on, and I can see and reflect that it wasn't me, but what happened contributed my personal journey. So that's what it is, and we have to accept it. This is total surrender. So the sun is going to enter the fighter and the provocateur, the cross of tension. Let's see what a week we are going to have. The gate of opposition, the fighter, the ability to preserve individual integrity through opposition to detrimental forces. Wow, what a gate. So first of all, if we look at both gates, they are very individual gates. They are mirrors in the chart. Yes, in the root center, they are mirrors, and they are also opposition in the wheel, and they are both individual. Very unique pair of, and also one after, the number is one after the other. So it's really a very unique pair. You can hardly separate them. Like brothers, like twin brothers. So the fighter is the fuel that we have, that the individual circuit has, to fight, to struggle for the correct purpose, to find the correct purpose in life in order to empower. Yes, this is an individual circuitry. This is both gates, by the way, the fighter and the provocateur. They are both deafness gates. there is another one, as we know. There are 3 of them. The 43rd gate in the ajna, the gate of insight, is also one of the deafness gate. And they are deaf because the individual doesn't want anyone to influence him in the journey. So in their search for the correct struggle, in their provoking the spirit, as we will see soon. So we're going to have a deaf week, individual week, fighting week. You know, in the not self world, it's going to look very ugly. In our journey, it will just push our trigger points. And we'll connect to where it needs to be connected, and we'll do its work. Yes, and we will also see the part of these 2 gates in this in the yearly death phase that we are in. The gate of obstruction, 39, the value of obstruction in provoking analysis, assessment, and reevaluation. So this is the gate that provokes the spirit. And now, because the spirit is there big time in the nodes, so we get the whole channel of emoting. And this is not an easy channel. This is the channel of moodiness. This is the channel of emotional eating. This is in eating disorders. This is the channel of creating music, of deep, deep melancholy and creativity and acoustics. And so we have the whole, this root with these 2 channels, the transformation and the emoting, and all the other gates which are activated. We have, as the sun enters, the sun earth will enter these 2 gates. The moon will be in gate 60, which is the gate of limitation. And again, the individual pulse will be very strong, the melancholy and the pressure of the limitation, the need to wait for the mutation to come. This is very strong because of these 2 individual gates, which are so strongly about mutation and this format energy, the 60th gate. So it will be strong. And we have the 30th gate, the gate of the clinging fire. In Venus sits there. We have Neptune in 2 lines. We have the Mars in the 4th line and Neptune in the 5th line. We talked about the 5th line in detriment, which is emotional dependency turns love into hate. So beware. It's all working, pumping us, you know. And of course, the pressure of the fighter and the pressure of the 58th gate that Mercury just in its retrograde just got in it. So a lot of root pressures to the spleen, to the emotional system, not easy, and this is going to be the whole week. Another thing that happened is that the nodes moved to the 5th line and the energy completely changed from the 6th line. This is about seduction and growth. We know the 59 in the 5th gate, it's all about the femme fatale or the Casanova. So it's a lot of seduction, a lot of sexuality in the air, and about seduce or being seduced. And with all this romanticism and moodiness, and you know, the 55th about loving to being in love, and now we have the whole channel of emoting. So there's a lot of pressure, and there's a lot of sexuality in the air. Also, gate 30. So this 59 is going to do its job on all of us, I think. And of course, emoting, the channel of emoting and the transformation. This is the background frequency for our week. And then the moon on the 31st of December, in the very early in the morning GMT time, the moon will enter the 41st gate, the gate of fantasy, and with the clinging fire will create for us the channel of recognition And oh my God, this is going to be a very, very, very emotional day with a lot of pressure to begin new adventures, sexual and emotional adventures, a lot of feelings in the air. Wow. All those people who open in their solar plexus, what a journey is going to happen that day. And then in the 31st later, after about 10 hours, the moon enters the 19th gate, the gate of need, the gate of approach, and and is also another root pressure towards the solar plexus. It's the tribal pressure. It's about finding the correct resources, finding the correct mate. And Mercury, in his way back, enters the 10th gate, the role model. So another interesting way to look at how all these pressures are going to display themselves. And then on the 1st of January 2017, we are getting closer to 2027, guys. The moon is going to enter the 49th gate, the gate of revolution. This is the other part of the channel of synthesis. And this is about rejection or acceptance of this approach that we had in the 19th. So it's again, very, very active emotional system, very active root, very active spleen. Interesting. And then the 3rd of January, we are going to have 10 hours of openness. The gate of openness in the solar plexus is the next step in the stream of emoting. We have the whole channel defined and the very individual moodiness channel, and we're going to have a gate, the 22nd gate as well. And all these people who have only the 12th gate, and I know a few of them, are going to experience the whole stream, a very manifesting emotional stream. Wow, this is going to be interesting lesson to learn about the emotional individual solar plexus. And then in the 4th, we are going to have 10 hours of crisis. Again, it will be very strongly felt because of all the global conditioning patterns. And the end of the week, we are going to experience the channel of initiation. The moon is going to enter the 25th gate, and we know that we have Uranus in the gate of shock, and we have the 10th gate again activated, and the 26th gate, the gate of the egoist, Saturn sits there. So not only we have these two pressures in the root, two channels that go, one to the spleen, one to the emotional center. Now we have also this channel of initiation, the needing to be first, the connection between the ego to the G, very, very spiritual and mutative channel. And also in the mundane realm, this is a very competitive channel, so watch out. What's going to happen in these 10 hours of this channel. And of course, this is also for us a chance, for all these people who don't experience this energy usually. It's of course a chance, a window to get this quantum leap, to be initiated to the next level in the journey. In our journey of the death cycle of the year, we started it in the treading, in the 10th gate, then we moved into the joyous, and now we are in the opposition. And we will continue until the limitation, and then we will start a new cycle. So we are in the opposition, and when we are in this gate, when we are in this phase of the opposition and the obstruction, we have questions that we have to ask ourselves in this inner reflection time that we are in. And the questions are, did we really were we able to maintain our individual integrity? Did we struggle for the correct things? Did we find the spirit? Yes, did we find the spirit? This is the 39th gate. And if we did, how do we feel about it, and where do we feel it is going to take us? So this is the reflection of this phase and this week, that everything stopped and we just sit with ourselves. We can't push life. We are being actually stopped by life, and we reevaluate. So yes, the value of obstruction in provoking analysis, assessment, and reevaluation. So now it's like self-provocation. We sit down and we look at things and we ask ourselves, was this year empowering? Did we actually fought for the correct purpose? Did we struggle for the correct things? And did we maintain the ability to preserve? Did we preserve our individual integrity, and weren't and didn't succumb to detrimental forces that came out and wanted to take us from our focused individual empowerment target? So this is where we are now. So please, if you feel that nothing moves, if you feel stuck, this is the time to be stuck. We can't hurry, we can't push the energy. The energy now the wheel is getting slower, the turn of the wheel is getting slower in order for us to finish this cycle in a correct way. And for that, we know we always have our Holy Trinity tools. We have our strategy in order to provoke the correct spirit, and in a correct way. We have our inner authority or decision-making process in order to preserve us from being influenced by detrimental forces. And of course, we sleep alone because it's fun. And that's it for this week. Sending you my love, and thank you for all the encouragement I get, and for all the invitations, and for the ongoing invitation to continue this, and for the invitation to do the Rave New Year. I will do. Love you. Bye-bye.